I want you to get a sense of vector shapes. And there's a lot of things you can do with vector shapes, but we're not going to go over all of them. I just want you to know they exist because what we've been working with are bitmap shapes. Vector shapes have paths, which means they can go as big or as small as you want and they won't lose resolution. They're down here, right near the pen tool. I'm going to just do a couple of them. Once I make, like right now, it should be, there's 3 different shape choices. Shape has color, you can give it fill or stroke. You can use just the path, which has no color. Pixels does not have the vector points like we used in when we were doing the path. We're going to leave it in shape. Let me go back here. Oops, I went to pixels, shape. And right now I have pink fill, and I'm going to give it a black stroke. I'm going to give it a 3 pixel stroke. So there is my rectangle. Notice it says rectangle here in paths, and it says rectangle here in layers. Every time I make a new shape, let's go to the ellipse. If you want it to be a perfect circle, hold the shift key. If you want it to be a different color, you can click here and change the color. But now you change the color of both of them. If you wanted this to be on a separate layer, I'm going to click cancel, undo. Make sure you add now another layer so it knows you want a new layer. And let's go back. Let's make a circle, hold the shift key. It put it on its own layer. So if you ever have a problem with that, just make a new layer. And now it's blue. And we have the ellipse. The tricky part, and I'm going to go back to the rectangle, one of the tricky parts is even though free transform has changed in 2019 and you don't have to hold the shift key when you grab a corner to resize, when you're in shapes, you still have to do it the old-fashioned way. If I go Command T to this and don't hold the shift key, it's not going to maintain the aspect ratio. But if I hit the shift key, it's going to maintain the aspect ratio. So that's a little confusing. I don't know why they haven't changed that. The other thing is the path changes depending on what layer you're on. See, I'm on this layer. There's the ellipse path. There's the rectangle path. The other thing that you can do is you can go to, I'm just going to skip over to the polygon, and I see it says 10 sides up here. This little gear-like thing, I decided to make it look like a star. And I want it to be on its own layer, so I think I'll just put a layer here just to be on the safe side, because sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I'm going to change this to yellow. I'm going to leave the stroke black. And because I have it as a star, it's a yellow polygon star. If I do polygon but not 10 sides, I do 5 sides. Whoa. Here we go. Let's come back here. I'm going to do 5 sides and I'm going to change it from star. I'm going to turn off star. I'm going to draw a polygon, and that's the polygon that I get. So here's the other thing. You notice there are points, and you use the same tools, the white direct selection tool. I'll click off, and then I'll click here on the top one, and notice how I can move it. Let's say I want that to be curved. I can go into the pen tool, go to convert point, click and drag. Now it's curved. Let's say I want to break that. Hold the Option or Alt key depending on whether you're on a PC or a Mac. And now you can alter that shape. So it works just as if you had used the pen tool initially. So it's a powerful tool, and it's a great place as a point of departure if you want to do an interesting shape. You can do the basics in the shape tool. There's also custom shapes down here. And lines. The line tool, I just want to let you know, is based on the width, the weight right here. So if it's 1, you're going to get a very thin line. I have it at 15 right now. I'm going to turn off the let's see. I'm going to turn off the stroke. Click that. See this little square? You'll see that in Illustrator with a line through it. That means there's no stroke. And I happen to be on this polygon, which I really didn't mean to do, but that's all right. I just want to show you what a line looks like. That's a line that's at, oh, it's still in stroke, so I guess I had to do it for each one. That's a line at 15 weight, and if I do 10 and make a new layer, that's at 10, and it's got the stroke again, and I can change the stroke color to a reddish color, and I can change the fill color to a pink color, and you have a lot of latitude with these. And they work, the layer hierarchy works the same. Notice every time I click on a different layer, the path changes. One more thing is if you go into type, I'm going to type my name. K-A-O, oops. I better do that. Okay, let me go back into type. I must have been doing paragraph type, which we haven't talked about yet. I'm going to click. Oh, there we go. Lorem ipsum. I'm going to type Karen. I'm done typing Karen. I'm going to drag it to the top so it's above everything else. And I want this to be not just the font, which here is Helvetica. I want it to look a little different. So I can actually change this to convert to shape. When I go back to the direct selection tool, see, there's all these points. So I'm going to click off. And now I can start editing a font. Now that really wouldn't be unless you want to do something really goofy and crazy. But now I can treat this exactly like I would treat any vector shape. So that's kind of a fun tool to use also. So that's your basic vector shapes in Photoshop. And that's sliding all over the place, isn't it?